Before we start, let me talk about myself a little bit. I My name is Ali Reza. I'm an immigrant from Iran by the way of United States. Before I became a computer scientist studying human computer interaction, I studied urban planning and design in Iran in my college years. So like many of the people who have design backgrounds here, even though I do code and though we all gonna do coding, I did not start as a coder or as a computer scientist. I moved to Chicago and studied urban planner again. I worked as a planner for a little bit in Chicago. Then I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and studied computational designs, which is a combination of architecture and computer science. Then I did my PhD in human computer interaction. I was a researcher at Northwestern University in the psychology department, then worked at a company called IDEO, which is a design agency that's done a bunch of cool design stuff in the past. And now I'm at SFU teaching some AI, data science, visualization related stuff. So this is me. This is a picture of me. As you can see, I lost all my hair, but I used to be like that. I had hair and I used to be a metalhead back in undergrad. No, this is actually high school. So yeah, I wasn't born bald, but there we go. Life is life. Besides that sort of nerdy stuff and the things I've done professionally, I listen to music all the time. Can you all type your guess on what my favorite band is based on this picture? What's the previous one? I have a few. Yeah, obviously. It's Nine Inch Nails. One of the few favorite bands. In 2013, I saw them in Lollapalooza and it was really fun. I'm learning how to produce music these days. Just had my first show like 3, 4 months ago. And I'm like making some new songs. The cat that you see in this image is called Catzilla. I will give some of the lectures in my home and you will see Catzilla present to support me. I like anime and manga. I read a lot. We can talk about your favorites, but anyone here is manga heads or anime heads here? I bet every session we have a few, so hopefully our community is strong. Let me see what's the question? I really want to go to Fan Expo. I don't even yeah, cool. I really want to go to Fan Expo one time, so you might see me, but not yet, because I just moved to Vancouver. What's an Anurero Girl Chance? I don't know what that is. What is it? Oh my God, that's awesome. So send the link in. So we will have a Discord soon. We're gonna have a sort of fun sharing section so that y'all can share with me and with each other events and stuff that happen. What anime and manga do I like? You will see. You will see through the lecture. You will see what anime and manga do I like, but through the lecture. I do watch a lot of movies. The last one I saw was Sentimental Value, which was really uh, good. And I like politics and I think about politics and social issues a lot. And it's prime time to be thinking about those stuff. Actually, today, both your TA and me are Iranian, and we're living in this sort of dystopian time where there's like mad protests in our country. And there's also crazy things happening in the world, and it's just hard to concentrate. So we're trying our best to stay positive and have fun. But if you see me a bit distracted and crazy, it's because I've been reading news for a long time. But I digress. Okay, so I did a little urban planning, right? So the first thing I started to create were these apps that allowed us to study urban planning, study cities through the lens of social media. But then I got interested, as I said, politics, started being interested in misinformation and why, how can we help people make sense of false news? So I started making visualizations that allow people to explore social media information through the lens of what's fake news and what's like malicious source behavior or not, right? Then I got really realized that a lot of our world is based on how we think and our psychology and how we see things. And you're going to learn in this class about that. And I moved my research into those areas in visualization, how our beliefs are shaped by the data we see, what makes us not agree with information, And I've written a couple of books in the past, and yeah, and these books are about architecture, social media, technology, things that I was into, and I've moved away a little bit from. Okay, Mehdi will introduce himself.
Call me Matthew if that's easier to remember. So I've studied, first of all, Happy New Year to you all. Yeah, I have studied my bachelor's on computer engineering at the University of Tehran, which is the second best university in Iran in the top three. Yeah, regarding my student life, I used to be the vice chair of our faculty student society, ACM, and I was able to land the best bachelor's thesis in the semester that I defended my thesis, my bachelor's thesis. However, I soon realized as a computer engineer, I cannot just do coding. So while I was studying, I explored my career around, I cannot say my career, but the job positions that I had evolved around marketing and media, social media, backend developer, product manager. I even had some roles as an event organizer voluntarily. And here I am trying to understand how people make decisions in interaction with AI, more specifically, how we use AI tools in the mental health section. In my free time, I host a podcast about depression and anxiety, which is unfortunately in Farsi, and most of you, I believe, cannot listen to it. And I really like hiking. I'm actually celebrating my first year in Vancouver. So yeah, I've been really yeah, thanks. So I've been really enjoying going hiking and stuff. And I hope that we have a really good semester learning from each other. I always learn from the creativity of the students, and I really enjoy giving feedbacks to the works that you do. So I hope that we have this mutual learning this semester as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, too.
Okay, so let's do two things. Let me just. Yeah, please link. I can, because can you mute yourself? Okay. Ah, thank God. All right. Yeah, we're gonna post a link to Discord. Join now so that we can see. I'm asking you to just share your name because there's about a lot of us. Try to join Discord because that's the primary place that we chat. If you're against joining Discord, then just let me know and then we'll figure it out. But if you're okay with Discord, then that'll be our primary source of conversation. I will ask, you can message me on Discord and maybe we will have conversation. You can ask questions. So that's a really good way for us to be able to help you with your assignments and answer questions and stuff. Yeah, share your name in Discord, something about yourself, especially what you're interested in. You could also, a bonus point for anyone who posts a picture or something they're interested in. So it's multimedia. Let's share it under general chat and let's see. Let's give it 5 minutes. I'm gonna just read out a few. Not gonna share any names. Y'all will meet each other hopefully through groups and stuff. But yeah, send some stuff for us. Let's see who we're dealing with. And yeah, introduce yourself in Discord. Get into the habit of talking there. Hopefully, we can all learn from each other. You learn about me a little bit about my sort of way of doing things in general. I like it a lot when people are just like open and share things and help each other. And I'm the same way, and the TA is the same way. So we want to have a sort of a wholesome sort of class, essentially. Okay. Anyone is going to send? I want to read a couple of the pictures that you'll share on Discord. Anyone's going to do that? Okay. Okay. Cats. I'm gonna share the I'm gonna share the image of, is that your cat? So we have a person who's interested with cats, orange cats. I actually love orange cats as well. Okay. Other, here's my dog when she looked like a baby giraffe. Okay. Here's the dog. What is the dog's name? Love it. Okay, so we we have a pet sharing exhibition right now. I love it. Lorraine says Star Trek. Do you like the old Star Trek or the new one? Michelle, I love your latte art. I actually just got myself for Christmas a espresso machine, and I cannot make latte art for the life of me. So mine is abstract art. I'm like one of those people. Asian theater, cats and dogs, taking pictures. We have, I think, pets are the winner in this class. Anyone with 235, welcome. I still owe you the sharing on LinkedIn. Whoever's from 235, I'm on it. I just have my life has been super messed up. The previous class is also waiting on me to share this stuff. So wait for me. Bear with me. Okay, we have someone who likes Roan, who likes making games and drawing. That is beautiful. I want to share this dog. I love it. Beautiful dog. Okay. Spike, Pokemon. Okay, we have food, chess. Night is your favorite piece playing chess. Okay, we have a Kanye West meme. When you're graduating, but you can't remember what you studied, that I believe should be epidemic with CIAT because it's hard knowing what we teach and what we study because it's super interdisciplinary. But we can all work together to figuring that out. But I love that Kanye meme. Okay. I love the spirit of this class. Everyone's hella meme sharing. This is good. This is the type of thing that we like. Okay. Beautiful picture of a sunset, Amanda. Here. I gotta say, Vancouver's got a beautiful sky. And we're gonna see Zara likes cars and sunset. That's a nice car. Oh my God, Coco. That is a beautiful cat. Is it friendly? Is Coco a friendly cat or is it like one of these more sort of angry cats? I used to have two cats. Bug snacks. Duck. Oh, Toasty. Toasty is amazing. Okay. We're going to take a couple more minutes of sharing and then continue with the lecture. Where's all the anime? We've had one Star Trek. I didn't find any anime manga heads. Video games, we had one. Pets are the winner this time. For sure, this is a pet class. Maybe I should change the topics of a lot of my lectures to pets because I try to lure my teaching to the things that students are interested in. It seems like pets. Oh my God, is this wow, look at the stray cat, everyone. This is some scary cat. Although it looks plush. I've never seen a stray cat that's like this sort of well fed. Because in Iran, if you're from other countries, stray cats a lot, and they usually look more like ready to punch you. This one is too sassy to be stray. Maybe they just fled or something. Okay, Attack on Titan, I see. Rowan, what is this gift? What anime is this from? I can't tell. Didn't miss you. I haven't seen it. Is it good? I'm gonna watch that because I've been rewatching some old stuff. I've been looking for some good anime to watch. Is it like a shonen or sen what? Or like isekai? Oh, it's a cooking show? Hell yeah. Nice. That's I love it. That's a good. As I love Tanika's dog as well. Cool stuff. Oh, they cook and eat dungeon monsters. That monsters. That's awesome. Okay. Keep sharing. Keep sharing with yourself because this is the place where we're gonna be talking with each other mostly. I gotta say, last rendition of the class, I really wanted to hold an in-person sort of fun meeting, but it didn't work out. Let's try from now to plan for around midterm a get together of sorts where we can all meet each other and just do fun things. The source of inspiration for Mehdi's logo. I don't even know that. No, no, no. Should share with us. Yeah, okay. And then we have Arya who's into writing. Oh, so you have English book summaries? That's cool. I'm gonna share it here so people can see, but it's not showing up. Where's the link? She's awesome. It just takes me to Medium, not the, no, I don't know. I'll check it later because it's not just taking me to, oh, okay. I see. That's awesome. I'm gonna read this, but I'm sharing this anyways. This is cool. All right. Okay. Let's get to the lecture. I don't want to take us to, this is fun, and I'd rather be doing this all day, but let's just get back to visualizations a little bit. Okay. Y'all ready? You good? Back into the lecture. Cool. Okay. Let me get some water. All right. So we see the world with our eyes. So when we see an image like this, we can immediately distinguish these berries and their colors, and we can tell that there's four red berries to the right, and then there's one to the left, and there's more red berries than these blackberries, right? So our eyes are super quick in detecting these things. Okay? And this is precisely the feature that makes us be able to read visualizations. We're as quick as doing that. We're able to tell shapes, positions, and this is the basics, this sort of similarity between how we detect things in the nature and to how we are able to read quickly some aspects of visualizations. So can you type in chat what is the highest number in this table? Cool, very good. Everyone's able to get it. It took you a few seconds, right? I suspect the way you read it was you started scanning these numbers until you found the largest number. Okay? It took you a few seconds at least. Okay? How about this? If we do this, then you immediately can detect the number. You immediately can do it because our eyes are tuned to detect like a color hue. That's it. Not only that, but also with using visualizations and color, you can also find this diagonal pattern in the visualization that I suspect you are not able to detect. Oh, spoiler. Okay, so to answer the question, what was my favorite anime and manga? It is One Piece. I'm an old head. I've been reading this for 20 years, and I think it's among the best things I've read. I consume a lot of media, and I love One Piece. So yeah, we can talk about One Piece as much as we want. But okay, for people who don't know One Piece, this is a map of the world of One Piece. And let's assume that we're looking at these two countries, a country of Dressrosa, country of Wano. Okay? And then we've all seen maps of these countries, right? So you can use color to demonstrate the population of these countries. Okay? So if I tell you that the population of Wano is 9,000 based on this map, what do you think the population of Dressrosa is? Okay, you're going to guess 4,500. Any other guesses? 2,000. Okay, that's good. What else? 3,000. Okay, okay, okay. How about this? Can you feel like you're just more accurate with this bar chart as opposed to the map and the colors? Like it's just so much easier. I don't like one of the things that we will learn in this class is that some ways of representing data are just easier to compare and like contrast and read, right? It's harder for us to tell differences between colors than differences between lengths. Okay? If I give you like this and then show you the sort of gradual change in populations, you can easily tell the we can say which color is darker than the other, And now you probably will be more accurate in reading that number as well, that Dressrosa number. Okay, so can someone tell me which country in this chart? This is a bar chart of COVID-19 deaths at some time when I was doing this. Can you find the country with the lowest amount? Egypt, we have Mexico, Argentina. Okay, okay. It's hard, right? These are so close to each other that it's hard to read. So then what if we do something like this? What if we do something creative? We wrap these charts, these bars, and then we now can find that the lowest number by a little bit of a difference is Egypt, even though they're pretty close. And then you can read it more accurately as well. Okay? Even though I said that comparisons between these when you use length, comparisons are easier, but finding really low values using length might be hard. This is called something called just noticeable differences. When something is really small, it's just harder to compare. Okay? This technique called rat bar charts is not something that I created. It's created by Du Bois. If anyone's familiar with the history of the United States, Du Bois is one of the primary sociologists in the late 1800s, a socialist. He's done a lot of important work about African Americans. But very few know that he was also a proficient, prolific graphic designer and did some really cool data visualizations. These ones are like so interesting to me because they show like these disproportionate differences between African Americans and the rest of Americans with data visualizations that are not just usual. They use these sort of wrapping around the paper that says, oh, there is like just way too much more African Americans in industrial classes. So given this, data visualizations in general to me is just taking data and somehow using visual elements so that we can take advantage of our vision to understand. Okay, that's all there is to it. So we can use color, we can use position, we can use length, we can use angle, and we can use different shapes. We can use triangles or horses or flowers or hats or coffee beans to make visualizations. So that's essentially what we do. And it's everywhere. Data visualization is everywhere. And
I'm
I
Georgia.
can.
I'm Italian, but I live in New York.
I'm Stephanie. I was born in Denver, Colorado, but I've lived in London for the past 13 years.
We had only met each other in person twice when in September 2014 we decided to collaborate on a
There's no sound. Okay. Good to know. Let me stop sharing for a moment and share sound and do this. And then do this. And then
year-long project to get to know each other through our data.
do you have sound now? We all good? Okay.
Data was conceived
So
as a
this is one of the interesting cases of
sending hand-drawn
learning
cards
how data is everywhere
We
in our
collect
lives.
personal data around a shared topic in order to investigate and reveal aspects of ourselves and our day to share with the other.
These artists just like use data visualizations to communicate how their lives were made.
Will personal info anywhere.
They did some really interesting
As
things.
for labor,
So the very first week of Dear Data, we chose a pretty cold and impersonal topic. How many times do we check the time in a week? We discover something about the other person's days through the pretext of my data collection. Why was I
What else did they do?
moments to pass by, every emotion I felt. Instead of Georgia and I noted and some
people? It's
See, they've used all these interesting aspects of our life. So data is everywhere, right? And even in our lives, we can think of the number of times we do something or the different types of things that we do, like the different genres of animes that I have seen is data. And then I can visualize it. I can say, okay, I've seen, I don't know, 20 shonen and 10 seinen, and then a bunch of isekai that I hate, and then some other stuff. And then I will see a food related one soon. Okay. So I can visualize that, and it will be interesting, and it could be a way to represent myself, right? Instead of just writing it through text. Visualizations are everywhere. They're in video games, right? So this is a video game that I was playing a couple of years ago. This is called Deadlock. Anyone have played this? Cool. Yeah, at least one person has I've played this game. It's a cool game. It's a really interesting. I've played it a bunch of times, and then I got out of it because none of my friends was playing it. But what I really liked about this game, outside of the gameplay, was the visualizations. Yeah, exactly. There's no one to play with. As you can see, in this game, we had to look at a bunch of different enemies in front of you, and here you can see, oh, there's all these data that we have to be able to read quickly to be able to decide whether do I engage in this fight, do I not engage in this fight. So game designers are using data visualizations. How much ammo do I have? Where am I in the world? All of these are data visualizations that are created in games, right? They are also in these newer games that we play. I've been getting into Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and this game also has a lot of data visualizations. It's a really beautiful game, but it's a different genre of game. But you can see we still have health bars here. We have other things here. You have this categorical aspects here. You can use you use these icons and numbers to represent how information should be processed by the player. It's in the stories around games, okay? This was Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It was a really popular game made by an indie game company, right? It had around more than 150,000 concurrent players when it was released. Can anyone tell me? So the story is that it started really popular, then it dropped because it's a single player game. Why do you think there was a peak in popularity around here? First of all, has anyone played Clair Obscur? Okay, Ron, right on. Exactly. This game won every award, basically, in the Game Award this year. Deserved. I think it deserved it. It's a really good game. And then, okay, because of the award, a lot more people learned about it. And then this data tells you that story. So you could really draw an arrow here and just say, oh, Game Award happened. And everyone saw, oh, everyone could really just understand what happened in the world. We can do this type of storytelling through the lens of data about events in the world. Okay, this is a map that I really like. What do you think this means? What do you think this is showing? Any guesses? Red state education map, election, Republican voters, something to do with red states. Thought about voting at first, but I don't think so. Okay, we're having some interesting guesses, and these are close. This is a map of different types of abortion bans currently in the United States. And then it's trying to tell a story that through these changes, how more states might have more harsh abortion laws in the United States. It's a powerful map. It does correlate with the things that you all said. It does correlate with election votes and red states. It does. But it also is more powerful. There's a Vox video. If you look it up, it's really powerful. You should watch it. We all are recently were affected by COVID at different years. You guys will probably in high school. I was getting my PhD, finishing my PhD when COVID happens. But our daily lives were pretty much intertwined with these visualizations, just reading them on a daily basis, but also reading on how reading through data, how effective vaccines were, to what extent, to the extent to which they were effective. So we see that on our daily lives as well. And then we read these data visualizations like this, where each of these is a US state, right? Again, pardon me, because I've just moved from the United States, a lot of my examples are from the US. I couldn't give you Iranian examples, it's even more obscure, but at least the US have some resemblance. I should update these to Canada soon because I like Canada more. So these, that's a US state. And then you can look at percent fully vaccinated versus number of hospitalized per 100,000. Can someone tell me what this chart could mean? Any ideas? I think so. So that's it's lower vaccination rate equals higher hospitalization. So essentially, you're all right. I think this chart is doing something like this. A pattern like what you just mentioned. You would, in your brain, it's like a correlation between vaccination and rates of hospitalization. Absolutely. You're all right. And then that's what I mean by a pattern. So you all looked at it and you drew this line and said, oh, I think there is something to do here. But we have all seen a lot of people who did not buy this data. I did not agree with this. They said, oh, the vaccines are poison. So what do? Instead of drawing this line, they might have just said, oh, look, there's all these states with low vaccination rates and low hospitalization. So maybe you don't need vaccines to have low hospitalization. You could rationalize your findings. So we might interpret data visualizations in light of our existing beliefs and views. And this is something that we're going to learn about in more depth. And then we can ask questions from visualizations. And that's what we call a task of what we do. So why was that state so high in hospitalization? We don't know, but we can ask that question. And can this visualization answer that question? That is a question that as a designer, you should ask. A user might really ask that question, and can you and would you be able to answer that question for them using the visualization? So in all the software that we use, I'm showing you this because we are going to be using GitHub and Git in our course. So you're going to see your commit rates and stuff using these visualizations. Mehdi is here to help you learn about it. So there we go. You can use visualizations in softwares that you might build in the future. So this was September 6th. You know why that was? This is my GitHub, and this is the course's website. September 6th was when I was just like really trying to change the website and get it ready for the course. And I believe if we look at the GitHub visualization again today, it will have the same pattern. They're in all the software that we use. So the lens of visualization can help you with learning how software can be designed, like really popular software. This is the software I use to learn how to make music. Do you all know what this is? Anyone have used it before? This is called Ableton Live. All like sound is visualized here. This is an area chart. This is line chart. This is a bar chart. This is a pie chart. This is another line chart. Everything is a visualization of this because sound is really good with visualizations. So you can use it in a lot of different contexts. You can use it in maps. We're all really, it's just so natural for us to read maps. In London, there's all these Walk with London, something charts where you can use, and in Vancouver, in all of the trends and study maps like this. These are like geographic visualizations. I bet every one of us is using these really rich visualizations called maps and interactive maps that Google Maps is a good example of that. You can very quickly read. This is me going from my house to Surrey, and it takes 37 minutes if I drive, and it takes 51 minutes if I take the train, and I don't have a car, so I take the train. We can also make pretty things, pretty visualizations, just things we like because they become interesting. This is visualization about a movie called In the Mood for Love, I believe. And this is all the interactions of the two main characters and their love interests, where they coincided and not. I think the picture becomes really interesting and beautiful. So this is another one in the same body of work that's basically the colors of Chungking Express, which is my favorite movie of all time. And then it's just such a interesting visualization. It's just cool. I don't know. It's sorted by color. I don't know what it means. I'm not here to interpret this. I'm here to enjoy it. So you might decide to use data visualization as an aesthetic, enjoyable thing and show it to people. Yes, I see. Okay. We can use it to learn something about society. Absolutely. The movie is by Wong Kar-wai. This is one of my favorite classes. These are all the artsy people of Seattle. Hell yeah. This is the artsy class this time. We're gonna have fun. We can use data visualizations to learn something about society. If I tell you, this is a visualization of who is retweeting whom during a protest in the United States. Can you guess what these two clusters are? Like two sort of groups of retweeting clusters are? Any thoughts? I think it's harder to read this visualization because we need to learn how to read some more advanced visualizations. But what I'm going to tell you is that this and this are two main clusters of sort of people who are in support of Black Lives Matter protests in the United States, in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the people who are against it. The green cluster is the ones that are in support of it, and the purple cluster is the ones that are against it. Echo chambers, we've heard about it, but using visualizations, we can actually show that it exists. This shooting happened 3 minutes from my house when I was living there, and then I became interested in it, and then I started pulling tweets, and then I mapped who tweeted whom during the protest, and I was like, oh my God, we have huge echo chambers. People just retweet and reflect each other. It's natural, but it just reflects the polarized society that we live in, and it's become worse now. Like we have this sort of hyper polarized sectarianist society where everyone is just either in agreement with someone or they just calling the other, whoever the other is, the enemy. So that's the notion of turning big data into meaningful information. And that's why this is part of that our sort of AI and data science work, because we need to be able to see things sometimes to make sense of it. So that's why data visualization is part of data science, is also part of some artsy things, and there's graphic design components, because sometimes you can with so much more power and efficiency you can make sense of things when you see things, because our eyes are powerful. So that's a like you can make visualizations that are interactive, right? So you can create applications where you can zoom and pan over maps, and then you can select and filter things, and then you can click on maps and then coordinate different views to each other. These are concepts that we will learn through this class. But again, interactions is something that we will learn that coincide with visualizations that will enable us to make sense of data, to read data, to understand patterns in data, to ask questions from data. So I'm using all of these keywords for you so that you can think through it later as we learn and become more advanced. And we can use it in conjunction with AI. So for example, this is a tool that I created with my friends in 2020. It's called Vitality. So how did we use it with AI is that we basically took a lot of papers from our discipline called Human-Computer Interactions, 75,000, right? And then we mapped them based on how AI represented that. And then we can basically come here and then look for, I don't know, Karduni, and then we can find papers that I have published, right? So we can click here, find it on a map, right? And then we can zoom over it, right? So we say, oh, these are some papers that I have. And then we can use an interaction to select more papers. And then, I don't know, you can see where they are. What are these other papers, right? We can so use AI interactively. And then, so what are these papers? We've added them here. These are some papers that are semantically related to each other. And then we can use AI to find similar papers to this. Cool. You can use AI, you can use simple bar charts, and you can use it to help you find stuff. So when you say AI, you don't really need to just type things. It's not all that you can do with AI. You can use the output and visualize it, and then help people with interaction to do things, to learn about patterns in data. Okay? That's what we're here to learn about. That's the idea in general, the idea of visual analytics, right? The idea of visual analytics and visualization, which are really coinciding with each other, is the science of doing analytical discovery through the power of visualizations. How does that work? The idea is that we can ask like questions from data, really deep questions from data. Sometimes we can use machines and computation to process that data for us. And then we can use our expertise, our eyes, right? The things that humans are good with the things that the machine are good to make sense of the world. So it's basically the idea of pairing human cognition, perception, visual intelligence, information design with data mining, statistical analysis, data management, graphics and rendering, all of that. That's the idea of visual analytics. So in this course, we will design, build, use, and critique visualizations. We're going to ask a lot of questions. We're going to say, I'm going to be asking you to tell me what you think is a good visualization for a specific task or not. You should be able to articulate that. We're going to learn why some visualizations are good in some cases and not so good in others. We're going to learn how to tell stories with visualizations. We'll learn how to employ visualizations in analytics. We're going to become familiar with how visualization and visual analytics expand the data science toolbox of approaches to complex problems. We're going to develop an understanding of tools, techniques, and methods for approaching visual analytics problems. By that, we mean we're going to learn a little bit of actual implementations. I know a lot of you might just use AI or not, but the whole idea is that you're going to become an expert in being able to create something that's really interesting, powerful, and specific. So we will design and create visualizations and visual approaches to a defined problem. We'll find or create data for that. We'll write code. We will explore interactivity, and we'll explore storytelling with visualizations. One of the main outcomes is that you will have a nice portfolio that you can showcase. Next session, I'm going to show you a lot of these examples. You'll be able to show up as an expert in a lot of different places and design good visualizations. This will become one of your expertise. You're not just going to show up with the ugliest pie chart in those presentations. You're going to be able to make really strong presentations using data visualizations. You will be able to deal with visualization codes and apply it as a data scientist, designer, or developer. You'll be able to collaborate in data-driven projects. So the format of this course is online. Lectures will be recorded. Labs, tutorials, some talks will be given on Mondays, but others are probably on Thursdays. We will have assignments, which basically are practicing what we learn in lab. Most of them are coding, some of them are not. We do have lab engagement, some quizzes, some engagement activities that take 5% of your grade. We will have a midterm exam. Basically, it's not an exam of me asking you what you remember. It's me giving you a few visualization, and you're asked to explain why they're good, bad, and describe how they should get better. This is going to be a very qualitative, very non sort of specific exam. It's just to see, for me to see whether you've gained some of that expertise to reason about visualizations. And in the final, you will submit a final project. You will work in groups of 3. This is wrong. Not in pairs of 1. You will work in groups of 3. This is for undergrads. For the graduate students, each of you will do this individually. You will create a final working application that's live on the internet that everyone can see. And you will have a presentation about it. So 15% of the grade is the presentation, 30% of the grade is the final project. Yes, and then we'll update you if some details about the share of the details might change. Yes, undergrads will be for the final project, groups of 3, unless specifically permitted. We tested it last time, it worked pretty well. We will have some really nice projects, but you don't have to worry for this until midterm. I haven't decided that. Last time it was, you were given an opportunity on Discord to find groups. But I might randomize it this time, unless people are really against randomization. But randomization is better, because in the real world, you'll be assigned into groups in a random way when you get to work. What do you all think? You want an easy, just work with your friends kind of thing, or do you want to randomize more realistic experience? We'll talk about that later. I have to think about it. I'm leaning on randomization this time. Yeah, we can vote. Okay, we can vote. I'm actually, even though I'm the dictator of this class, I can veto, but I'm gonna get a vote and then decide whether I'm a veto or not. I'm gonna run a vote later. I'm gonna send a Google form to see what percentage y'all think random. But then you'll see how dictatorships will work, because classes are dictatorships. I'm the dictator of this class, even though I believe in democracy. Yes, we can run polls. Okay, we're going to first see the percentage of students who agree with democracy. And then if the majority agree with democracy, then we're going to run a vote. Then I can also overrule everything, because I'm from Iran, and Iran doesn't have a good democracy anyway. So I didn't grow up with that. I'm just joking. It's too late. Okay, there are some readings and videos that you should watch. It's required. We might not test you on that, but your midterm grade will be highly evaluated against your knowledge that you will learn from the videos and the readings. You will use those readings and videos for the final. So, final project is your portfolio piece. Assignments help you deliver your final project. We are here to help you think about it. The final project, we've planned it pretty nicely. We've done it twice. It's going to take a whole half a semester, right? So second half of the class, a lot of your assignments are just working through the visualization. So you're going to have a lot of time building it. And I believe this has been really successful. We've had some really cool visualization projects. I really love the fact that students in this class are passionate about things, and they choose the topics they like, and then they pick they make visualizations about topics they enjoy. We're going to do that in different phases. As I just mentioned, you will first find some data, you will develop visual analytics or data stories to get at the question and tell the data story, and then so on and so forth. If you have a real client, you should talk to me, and then we can talk about that. I have to see. It has to fit sort of the description of the final project. I haven't created this list from last year. We're working on it, but this is from 2 years ago. I loved some of these projects, but I just want you to see some examples of how the final project from 2 years ago looked like. So this is a website your peers from a couple of years ago created about drug policies and their influence on overdose trends in Canada. Students had these sort of really nice draw techniques, where you first drew Man, my mouse is, you first drew, my mouse is acting all weird. It's not, it's jumping. Okay. And then you click on, and then it tells you the real data, and it tells you a story about that. You go down, you can repeat it. It's really cool. We had a Pokemon visualization that I really liked. So you can look at different votes about different Pokemons, and then you would hover, and you would see the image of the Pokemon. So we had a wide variety of topics last year. We had some really interesting topics. One of my favorites was one about coffee. One of them was about housing prices. I'm going to share it with you when we gather. Those are really cool visualizations. Okay. We have a website. The syllabus is there. Read it. We have an organized table that shows you what will happen in the class. It's subject to change, but it's mostly there, and it's mostly won't change, right? But if something changes, we will let you know. When you communicate with us on Discord, we have to know who you are, and there's a TA and I. So I really, for some more serious conversations, if you're not asking questions about codings or just some casual question, please email, and please, not please, definitely CC Mehdi and I. Like, we should both be included. Okay. So the policy include information on student behavior, assignment expectation, and late penalties. Borrowing other work is plagiarism. Don't do plagiarism. This is a chill class. Really, there's no need to steal from other people or borrow work. Using AI work completely, I consider plagiarism. Completely meaning just copy and pasting without knowing what you're talking about or what you're doing. If I detect that is considered plagiarism. However, you can use AI for coding where we have that. What is the question? Hold on, let me see. Would you be able to use multi-data analysis and visualization tools, or only one will suffice for the final project? You probably will use the thing that fits you best. We'll teach you programming, so you're gonna be fine. You'll learn enough tools and use enough tools in your final project. What's the other question? Yes, we will post slides and video recordings of the slides on Discord. For sure. Okay. So this is something that Mehdi will help you with. This Thursday, we will not have a talk, but usually on Thursday, this will be communicated with you on Canvas and on Discord. But we will have lectures separately that are not mandatory to attend. Mondays are mandatory. These are lab sessions mostly. These are for us to make sure that you're learning the sort of the technical and the craft of visualization. The lectures are going to be on YouTube. Let me show you. Please don't mind my embarrassing YouTube link. This is the website for the lab. As you can see, we have a lot of lectures. You don't have to watch this now. This will be updated. This is from last year. So I will slowly move and update each of these videos with what we're doing today. And then you will have sort of a reference to get to, basically. Thank you. But again, you have access to these visualizations with lectures. Okay. We'll have your next assignment next week, right? It will be out next week, the first assignment. Is first assignment out now? I don't know. I think it's next week. Okay. Is the survey done? Can you share the link with me? The last thing we want to do. What is it called? Okay, 36 people have responded. I wish that more people have responded, but let's see. So we have majority from Vancouver, some from the rest of Canada, and then we got a decent amount of international. We have mostly, really guys, like there's more than 50% of the class that thinks rainy and beautiful. So do you think rain is beautiful, or it's rainy, but also it's a beautiful city? Because the people that I meet, they all hate the winters here. Okay, favorite hobbies. Hanging out with friends, same for me. Cooking food. We got making data visualizations, 2 people. Okay. Doom scrolling, going to restaurants, discovering active subreddits within 3 members. Okay. Playing games, very cool. All right. How do you stay in touch with your friends? We have a group chat, everything happens there. I think mine is the same. But after a lot of political stuff, my friends and I just curse at each other. Basically, it's a chat group for sort of internal hatred and differences. Memes, I am all for. I share memes just in a sick way. I'm tired of myself for the amount of memes that I share. Okay, this is the one that annoys me the most. Every time we come here and people, this is every year, the majority of people say teleportation. And I just think this is wrong. Can the representatives of teleportation tell me why? Is that okay? As an Iranian with probably the worst passport of all, I would say that there are better things that we can do with superpowers. Okay, first of all, if you can do time travel, it means you can stop time technically. So you'll have unlimited time. So all these time things are irrelevant. By definition, anyone who says time, in my opinion, should just go with time travel because it's like a better, technically, you have infinite speed because you can stop time, move, and then unstop time, and then you're just really fast. Why is time travel dangerous? No, it's fine. The rules are, it can change. Yeah, it's good. We want to be able to change outcomes. Yeah, grandfather. Don't go and kill your grandfather or something. I don't know. Like, it's, yeah, I don't know. Our time is wasted, anyways. Anyways, man, I disagree with this. Every year, I think this is wrong. But let's see, look, some invisibility I can go with. It's cool. Mind reading is amazing. Which superpower would I pick? That's a good question. Mind reading. I think mind reading is amazing. If honestly, it's like the biggest problem is that like people don't understand each other, in my opinion. But then time travel would be second. Teleportation. Teleportation is cool, but yeah, but mind reading is on demand. It's not like you can just pick, you cannot know sometimes. It's not that I chose time travel to separate some couples so they wouldn't have some disgusting children. That is right on. That is right on. That is cool. Okay, anime. I love anime and I watch anime all the time. I don't care about anime. There's one anime hater. Who is the anime hater? Please. This is a safe space. Speak up. You want to know why do you hate it? Because I get not loving it or not caring about it. Hatred is a strong word for sort of a genre, a whole thing. Okay. Half of the class loves video games, but they're bad at them, like me. 13 people are good at them. Some 10, some 4 people are not. They don't have opinions about video games, and then some people have hatred for video games. Again, I don't get the hatred. What did you do? How did video games wrong you? Okay, favorite social media. 50% Instagram. Cool. I can't pronounce it. Discord. How is your true? Is that correct? Reddit, Twitter. I used to be on Twitter, but I'm not anymore. TikTok. Really? That's crazy. One person does not take like favorites. That's amazing to me. Yeah. Oh yeah, no Blue Sky or microblog. We included X, but you're right. You should have added Blue Sky or other microblogging sites. Okay. AI. So we have AI is scary. We have close to it, like about the same percentage. Yeah. AI is amazing and solves many problems. I have no opinions about it. I don't know. I have to ask ChatGPT. Okay, 2 people are already fully bought the AI hype train. Okay, this is a fun class. How many days has it passed since you watched a movie? 0 days, and we have 400 days. Please watch like at least one movie every, I don't know, 3 months or something. There are some good movies in the world, but you might not like it. How many days has it passed since you've listened to music? -1. I love the -1 since I think they know that they will listen to music tomorrow as well. So most people are, I bet half of you are listening to music right now. 0 seconds. I would do it. I would play some music on the background. Oh yeah, no. I guess we had listening right now and then only one person. Come on, be honest. Oh, okay. Read a book. Some people have read a book recently. Wow, this is a different class from last year. Okay, okay. And then with visualizations, neutral, 15% don't disagree that they know how to make visualizations. We're gonna teach you. 12% agree. Okay, this is good. This is a good distribution. We're gonna hopefully move all of you to agree and strongly disagree, strongly agree. Okay. So, what do you look forward to learn from this class? Utilizing skills from data visualization to apply toward design and user experience. This is a really good goal. I actually think this is pretty much the way I would want this class to be framed. Essentially, you can use a lot of those principles in other design disciplines. Okay? Anything and everything about data. We're going to learn a lot about basics of data science. Whatever is required to pass. We have some pragmatics in the class. Data analysis visualizations, cool ways to visualize data using Tableau. We'll teach a little bit of Tableau. To learn more about AI, we're going to include, we will have a new lecture this year on AI and visualizations that we're working on. Say whatever you like. Okay, I'm too much of a boomer to understand this, but I know this 67 thing. So please explain to me. Anyways, really? Okay. Thanks for all the 2 through 5 people. I'm glad to have you. Yes, please send me the 5-star review. Thank you. I am super hyped for this class. Okay. I love this. I love these things. Well, let me share some sort of final things before we adjourn for today. I have been, this is the 3rd time I'm teaching this class. I'm enjoying it a lot. As you might come to learn, we're going to do a lot of work, but I really try to prioritize enjoyment. I really want you to try to not be bothered too much by the super specifics and try to find something that you really enjoy and work through in visualization. As long as I see that, in my opinion, you shouldn't be too worried about grades because historically, we've been getting good grades as long as you do the work and I'll show you some progress. I know for a fact that most of you are going to do great because I've seen it from the last 2 years. You're going to see the example. So share your thoughts. This is an open, even though it's a dictatorship when it comes to decision making in terms of opinions, no one ever is going to be penalized about their opinions or thoughts. Freedom of speech is here to stay in this class. So you can share your thoughts, your opinions about work. We're here to answer about them. Answer it. We might ignore them as dictators, but you can definitely talk about whatever you like. What else? So yeah, we're gonna be finalizing the website. There's gonna be assignments on GitHub. You're gonna be slowly learning how to do all those tools. And yeah, any questions? So someone is asking, do we have to use multi-data analysis and visualization tools, or only one will suffice for the final project? I don't care about this. You will learn Vigolite and D3 The reason I said I don't care is that it all matters about what final project you will have. Okay, depending on because I really emphasize describing why your final project is important, what the topic, what the tasks are, who the users are, and depending on that, you will choose the best software and techniques that you will use to create data visualization. So that is not a question that I can answer right now, Mustafa. Any other questions? Other anime that I like is Chainsaw Man. Recently, I saw the movie that it was amazing. It was really good. All sessions will be online.
Excuse me.
Go for it.
So after this lab today, so will all the lab sessions be online entirely?
Yes.
So no in-person classes for this course.
For this course, no in-person classes.
Thank you.
The labs, you will join on Zoom, and there's going to be Discord, and we're going to do some live codings, and you will code with me or Mehdi, and we'll talk about it. So I'm going to come on, share my screen, and then do some live coding, D3 or Vega Lite, and show you how to do things. And we're going to talk about it, and you're going to sometimes submit your final products in the lab in Canvas. So we're going to have those very interactive sessions. Okay, what else? Yes, I know this artist. How do I pronounce your name? Aisha? Okay, Aisha. Yes, Charlotte Airport had one of his visualizations. I liked it a lot. It's cool.
I'm also from Turkey. I'm an international student. I just wanted to share.
You're welcome. Yeah, I can, as an Iranian, I could tell that you're from Turkey. But thanks. I'm glad that you shared with everyone else. No, okay, not everyone is here. For some reason, they messed up and put our class at 7. And so I have to go through official means to change it. Okay. But I think 6 is good for everyone that works. I'm hoping to move it to 6. Just ballpark it. Is anyone opposed to 6? I want to see. Yeah. So starting from 6, and it'll go to probably 8. Yeah. But a lot of them will be shorter. The labs will be longer. So you're trying to short. Or people are making the labs already shorter. Okay, from midterm on, okay, 6:30. Okay, how about 6:30? Last semester it was 6:30. Honestly, even that 30 minutes helps.
Hi, I have a question about the Thursday labs.
Okay,
What time will they be running? Same time as like the Monday?
5:30.
5:30.
Do you work?
No, but 333 does run from 4 to 8 p.m. on Thursdays.
Okay, so the Thursday ones, I might, based on who, like, if the majority of class has problem with Thursdays, I'm open to changing it. Attending it is not mandatory. I will post the videos, but I do think that some people would like to attend in person, so we'll figure it out. This is supposed to be a blended asynchronous synchronous class. So the synchronous part, I decided to be the lab. And the lectures, because they're recorded and they're on YouTube, it's like you don't have to be there. It's really nice if you're there and you interact with me because it makes my life more fun.
So just to clarify, the lectures, if we can attend them, they're supplementary, but because they're already recorded, they'll be available on YouTube. And as
Yes.
for the Thursday labs, I understand those are supplementary as well because those are recorded and posted on YouTube?
Mondays are mandatory. Monday sessions are mandatory.
Regardless
Thursday,
of, and Mondays are always lectures, or are there going to be labs on Mondays?
mostly labs. Mondays will be mostly labs. Today, because it's the first day, we had a lecture.
Okay. So then Thursday is optional.
Thursdays are going to be optional.
Gotcha. Okay.
Don't quote me on the Thursday because we might change it in the next couple of days based on feedback I get from you. Okay, I will. Can you please email me if anyone has to work until 7 and they can, because most of the days are going to be labs and there's 2 of you, you will not lose participation marks if you can accommodate that, because because every year they put 6:30, and just for some reason scheduling did 7, because I think 6:30 is a reasonable time. But if you have to work, then you will not have problems with attendance participation if you show up at 7. Anyone who has that. What else? Ask away.